I'm Tony Diaz. Welcome to The Other Side. This is the cultural side. I want to talk a little bit about why Mex American Studies matters so much to me. This really is about the power of books. I know you hear that phrase a lot, and it's kind of lost its meaning, but literature is a big deal to me. And we've got to celebrate two big victories. So proud that our community members in Tucson helped liberate this book. This was part of the prohibited Mex American Studies program in Tucson, and we heard about the ban through the students. And here in Houston, we said, you know what, if they're going to ban Mex American Studies in Arizona, we're going to smuggle it back. So we united, and members of Nuestra Palabra, Latino Writers Having Their Say, we invested our time, energy, and cultural capital into becoming book smugglers. That's right. We became librotraficantes, and in 2012, we organized a six-city caravan smuggling $20,000 worth of these prohibited texts of our history and culture back into Arizona. We went in a bus, the 1,100 miles from Houston, Texas to Tucson, and we opened 4 underground libraries. Last year, in August, that racist un-American law banning Mex American Studies was overturned. And I want to make something clear. It's the people of Tucson, Arizona, who suffered the brunt of it. They get all the glory. Gente from Texas and the librotraficantes were happy to lend a granito de arena, to lend a hand, and to make sure that un-American law didn't spread. And in fact, we came back to Texas to make sure that Mex American Studies was in our classrooms. I remember we used to say, we're so proud that Texas will not ban Mex American Studies. Well, you can't ban what you don't have. We realized that we didn't have Mex American Studies in our schools, and we started to push for it. So in 2013, we went to Austin and we demanded Mex American Studies, and people thought that was the most outlandish thing possible. I'm proud to say that this last June, Texas State Board of Education members across party lines, both Republicans and Democrats, voted to endorse Mex American Studies throughout the state, which is huge. And I really believe that no individual party should be thought of as against our culture or the only one in favor of our culture. This is great. This is the Texas I'm proud of because we united to make sure that our students have the best education possible. If you go to the website, librotraficante.com, or also at theothersidetv.com, we're going to put some of the surveys that prove that these culturally relevant courses help our youth progress. You knew that. I knew that. But I want to tell you personally why this is so important to me and why I'm really pushing hard to make sure that teachers have all the tools they can use to get this in the classrooms, and so parents know that this is available, and so students can hear their stories and histories. Because my folks were migrant workers. I'm the last of 9 children. I'm the only male to have finished high school, and I'm the first in my family to go to college. But I was also the first one that my folks said, one of our children has to study. My brothers and sisters were migrant workers at an early age. So when they were in 3rd grade, they'd have to wake up at 5 a.m. They'd have breakfast, su cafecito, un taquito, and with the morning dew, they would get in the truck, drive to someone else's farm, and pick crops. One of my sisters used to tell me how she used to see the morning dew on the crops they were about to pick. Now, I didn't have to pick because by the time I came along, my folks had moved to Chicago, and my father had a job at the railroad, which meant that we no longer had to move around to find work. I remember when I was in high school, I had a textbook, and I was reading about social problems. And I remember flipping to child labor laws, and I read that it's illegal for kids to work. And I remember thinking, my brothers and sisters were working in farm fields when they were little kids. I remember reading about people being homeless. I remember thinking, my parents moved from farm to farm following crops. And it dawned on me that my folks really had to sacrifice a lot for me to be in that room reading and writing. I also had a gift for it. I think I got it from my mom. My mom never went to school. She taught herself how to read, but she was a wonderful storyteller. She claimed she never spoke English. I think she learned English secretly spoke it, because now and then she'd tell a joke in English, make us laugh, but she was really brilliant. And I always wonder what it would have been like had she been able to go to college or study or get a PhD, which she would have been totally capable of if it was just about her intelligence alone. There were a lot of things blocking her, and I'm proud of my mother and father for getting those things out of the way for me. So when I got to school, I devoured every book, I devoured every assignment, because my parents had infused in me how important it was. I knew that this was a key to my future and my family's future, and I happened to be good at it because my gente had reading, writing, history, and cultura in their veins and their blood, like our community does as well. So I'm happy to join you to tap into that. Stories del corazón, stories about your family, stories that make you proud. I want students to open these books and see their history and culture, their families reflected in this. I want them to understand that heroes look like us too. That's what this is about. That's why I am so passionate about reading and writing, and I am so proud of all the writers and activists that have made it possible for these books to get into your classrooms, into your hearts, into your imaginations, and right now, through the magic of television, it's getting into your minds as well. Let's keep it going. Welcome to the Chicano Renaissance. I'm Tony, and you've crossed over to the other side.